No, 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 not really. I think that SunTrust Bank is a great bank. It is a wonderful bank. They've been in the last few years, they've been kicking ass like crazy. And in today's conversation, what I want to do, I want to show you how to get a massive personal loan from SunTrust Bank with fair or poor credit. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you already ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's discussion, I want to talk to you about how to get a massive personal loan from SunTrust Bank with fair or poor credit. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, let me just say that SunTrust and BB&T Bank they're now part of the bank called Truist. Okay, both institutions will continue to offer independent product lines for a period of time. This may include different underwriting guidelines, product features, terms, fees, and pricing. But SunTrust Bank, right now, if you want to qualify, if you want to apply for a SunTrust Bank, you can still go to the website. You can see on the screen here, you go to the page where they have loans, and you can actually apply for a loan with no problem. The first thing you need to do if you want to get a personal loan, a massive personal loan from SunTrust Bank with poor or fair credit, is to know the typology of loans. You got to have a clear idea of the different SunTrust loans that are out there. So we have here, we have a home equity line of credit, we have the unsecured light stream loans, and we have the personal lines of credit. Okay, so those are the three categories. This is the trifecta you need to think about. In today's conversation, we are going to focus on the unsecured Lightstream loans and the personal lines of credit. The reason is that Lightstream is actually a subsidiary of SunTrust Bank. And so basically, if you are in certain parts of the country, if you want to get a personal loan, an unsecured loan from SunTrust Bank, they will redirect you to Lightstream. But in other states, we have seen in Georgia, we have seen in Virginia, we have seen in West Virginia, among others, you can go to a branch and apply for an unsecured personal loan. And you also have, so in today's conversation, we'll talk about the unsecured personal loans, but we'll also talk about the personal lines of credit. That way, if you don't qualify for one product, you can qualify for the other, okay? So I'm not even going to talk about the home equity line of credit. It is beyond the purview of today's conversation. So the unsecured personal loan, the loan amount oscillates from $10,000 to $500,000. Okay, and the APR goes from 3.75% all the way to 29.95%. That's for the personal loan. For the personal line of credit, the amount ranges from $5,000 to $100,000, and the APR can go as low as 4.29% with auto pay. You got to have auto pay in both cases. Whether you have a personal loan or you have a personal line of credit, you want to have auto pay. You need to establish a relationship with SunTrust Bank. Step number two. So step number one, you want to know SunTrust loan types. Step number two, you need to focus on the unsecured loan. Okay, we're not wasting any time on other types of loans. We want to focus purely on the unsecured loan. And as I was telling you earlier, the unsecured loan, you can get it online. If you want to get it online, you have to go to lightstream.com. But if you want to get it offline, you need to contact SunTrust. If you have a physical branch in your vicinity, you just want to walk into a branch and have a conversation, or just call them up. Okay, so with an unsecured loan from SunTrust Bank, again, this loan, it doesn't matter if you have a FICO score as low as 550, they will take you. The minimum is 550 as long as you have an MPR, a multi-product relationship with SunTrust Bank. With the personal loan, you can finance practically anything. And the SunTrust via Lightstream offers unsecured fixed-rate loans from $5,000 to $100,000. Sometimes they go all the way to $500,000, depending upon how strong your moolah is, how strong your balance sheet is, how strong your financial situation is. Okay, and you can use the cash to finance a wedding, an adoption. You can use the cash to move out of your current house to do home renovation. Your call. Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. I want you to talk to me right now. Are you currently banking with SunTrust? Or are you thinking about opening an account with them in the next, say, few weeks or months? You have to, folks. If you want to increase your chances of getting the loan, you better actually open that. And we love the fact that SunTrust is so competitive and so aggressive in terms of fee transparency, in terms of fee reduction, that they are saying on their website that they will beat any qualifying rate from another lender. That's wonderful, right? For you as a potential applicant, that's just wonderful. The loan has no fees. You have same-day funding available. They will guarantee your loan experience, or $100 is yours. So if you happen to have a bad loan experience, they'll pay you $100. And you can use the cash for a lot of things. And that's what we love. We love the fact that they're giving you flexibility with the money. Some lenders want to restrict what you can do with the cash. They want you maybe to consolidate debt with the loan. They want you to use the money for home renovation, and they will check on that. But SunTrust is not doing that. They're just giving you the free reins to do whatever you want. As long as your loan is approved, you can do anything you want. Step number 3, folks, I want you to check your FICO. So we are still having a conversation about how to get a high limit personal loan from SunTrust Bank. And we're looking for a maximum loan amount that goes all the way to $500,000, but on average, it's more $100,000, okay? Step number 3, you want to check out your FICO. So step number 1, know SunTrust loan types. Number 2, you want to focus on the unsecured loan. Number 3, you want to check out your FICO score. Why do you have to do that? Well, guess what? Your FICO score principally impact the APR that you might get from SunTrust Bank, the loan amount you might be approved for, and a constellation of other things. So you want to check it. And where can you check it? There are several sources where you can actually check your FICO score for free. I'm not asking you to pay anything. There's a lot of ways you can get this for free. All right. So the first source is annualcreditreport.com. This is a website that Congress has mandated through an act of law that says that every year all consumers should receive one copy of their credit report for free. So you go to their website and you can get your credit report for free from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So besides annualcreditreport.com, you have NAV, you have Wallet Hub, you have Nerd Wallet, and you have Credit Karma. Those 4 players are private players. They will give you free access to your credit report in exchange for your data. In other words, they want you to sign up, and what they do is they will try to upsell you. They're trying to cross-sell you with other products. Okay, they have your email, they will have your phone number, and for example, for Credit Karma, they have a tax service whereby they will just try to pitch you their free tax service during tax season. You want to check your FICO, because if there are some inaccurate derogatory items on the report rather, you have a chance to dispute it. You can either do it yourself if you have a knack for writing very aggressive but compelling credit dispute letters. But if you don't have that knack, if you don't have that talent, you can outsource the tasks to a credit repair agency. Okay, but you got to have the information. How can you make a decision if you have no idea what's going on in your credit report? This is why you need to check out your FICO, especially if your goal is to get a let's say a large personal loan, unsecured that is, from SunTrust Bank with fair or poor credit. And you want to review all 3 credit bureau records, not just one, not just Experian, Equifax. No, you want to review all 3 of them. Step number 4, I want you to determine eligibility. Okay, so the goal here is to get approved for a huge personal loan, unsecured personal loan from SunTrust Bank with fair or poor credit. So you need to determine eligibility. Are you eligible? Talk to me. Do you qualify? How do you know? Do you have some kind of information to, big decision time? Do you have an insider information about what makes you eligible for the loan? You probably don't, right? Well, guess what? We have the inside information. We've done the research. We have the facts. So to be eligible for this unsecured personal loan from SunTrust Bank, you need to have your income should be at least $24,000 per year. That's minimum. That's gross income. That's pre-tax income. In other words, you need to be pulling in at least $2,000 every single month, pre-tax income. Your DTI, your debt to income ratio, should be 35% maximum. Your DTI, debt to income ratio, is basically the portion of your income that you allocate for debt servicing. Okay, if you and SunTrust Bank wants you to have 30%, anything below 35% is great. So let's say if you're making $100,000 a year, you don't want to spend more than $35,000 on debt servicing. And here I'm speaking about all the constellation of debts that you have, from mortgage to credit card balances to loans to anything else, bills that you have to pay to the insurance companies and all that kind of stuff. All right. And SunTrust Bank wants you to have a minimum employment history of 6 months. You got to be employed for 6 months. You got to be 18 years of age minimum. The legal age is 21 years in some states. So just make sure that you basically check with your state. Well, the cool thing here is if you go online to apply if you call SunTrust Bank, they'll let you know. Anyway, if you qualify, let's say you're 19 years old or 20 years old, they'll tell you if you qualify for their loan. And your FICO score must be 550. That's the minimum, 550 minimum. And to be eligible for the loan, you need to explain the loan purpose. Loan purpose is very important. Okay? I want you to write that down. Loan purpose. The loan proceeds. What are you going to use the money for? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are also having a conversation today about how to get approved for a massive personal unsecured loan from SunTrust Bank with fair or poor credit. Step number 5, you want to boost your approval odds. And there are several ways you can do this, right? So the whole idea is to qualify for the loan. Let's say you have a FICO score of 560. And you know that even though the maximum loan amount is $100,000 or $500,000, you might not get that. Guess what? It's okay. Even if you got, let's say you were approved for 40 grand or 50 grand or 65 grand, that's fine. That's a lot of cash anyway. Where I come from, this is just a lot of moolah. Okay, so to boost your approval odds, you want to think about co-signers and co-borrowers. Do you have anybody in your vicinity, anybody in your family, anybody in your private circle who has a higher credit score? If you're sitting currently at 560, do you have anyone at 760, at 800, at 820? Why not at 850? Well, if that person is close to you and you trust the person and he or she trusts you, go ahead and just have some kind of a co-signer or co-borrower agreement with that person. You can also apply for an existing SunTrust credit card beforehand and use the card responsibly several weeks or months before seeking a loan, right? So what you want to do is you want to get a foot in the door, because a loan can be a little bit intimidating, or I guess the requirements might be a little stringent. So what you do is you want to play it safe. You want to play it strategically. So you start with a credit card. You get an easy to get credit card and use the card responsibly for, say, 3 to 6 months. That way you would have established a great relationship with SunTrust. And you can also boost your FICO. But when it comes to boosting your FICO, only you is the person who can do it. You can boost your FICO by sticking to a financial discipline routine. You want to think about budgeting, very important. You think about lowering your expenses. You want to lower your expenses. You want to get more income with side gigs. You can also seek a SunTrust secure loan. Okay. And one thing I also want to do here is that you can see that you can actually, SunTrust has a savings solution that double as secured personal loan options. So this is really good. If you have a SunTrust certificate of deposit, you can actually take that deposit and just use it as a security for the loan. Let me ask you a big decision time. Are you interested? Are you interested in that SunTrust CD secure loan? If you have the cash with the bank already, this could be a great opportunity to improve your chances of being approved, because this kind of loan can cover a variety of expenses like home improvements, college tuition, or consolidating higher rate balances. Okay. Step number 6, folks, I want you to connect with SunTrust. And this is one of in our view, one of the quintessential elements when we speak about getting a personal loan for a large amount from SunTrust Bank with a fair or poor credit. We are speaking about, first and foremost, establishing a relationship with a SunTrust. We call this, as we have said on other shows, we call this an MPR, multi-product relationship. I don't care, we have heard some viewers telling us, why are you talking about checking accounts and savings accounts in a loan program, in a loan video? We really don't care, because that's the truth. We have done the research. We know it works. We have helped clients ourselves. We have applied it on numerous occasions. It works. So why hide it? People are just thinking when we speak about credit, it's all about credit card loans. It's all about, no, my friend. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if you have a skinny credit score, you better have a fat checking account. You better have a fat savings account. You need to counterbalance things. You can't just be skinny all alone. You can't be like skinny on the credit score side and skinny on the checking account side. It doesn't make sense. You need to counterbalance things, okay? So you want to collect, you want to connect with a SunTrust. What I want you to do is I want you to open at least one checking account and one savings account, and you want to fund the account. You want to save money. So that way, even if your FICO score is sitting at 575 or 560 or 550, but you have, let's say, 10 grand or 15 grand or 20 grand in your savings account, SunTrust will look at your situation, your financial situation, a little more differently. So here I'm showing you on the screen now, personal banking from SunTrust Bank. You want to go to that page, okay, and you want to explore the checking accounts. So they have two very interesting checking accounts. They have the Advantage checking accounts, and they have the Essential checking accounts. Those two are pretty good. It's all a matter of minimum deposit and the kind of rewards you're expecting, okay? And let's look at the savings account. For the savings account, you have three types of products. You have Essential savings, no minimum opening deposit required. You have Advantage money market savings, and then you have Personal certificate of deposits. And then we have Premier banking. So Premier banking is a lot more for folks who have some kind of who have a deep pocket. So that's just put it that way. They have some cash. So you actually you can enjoy the perks and personal attention of being a Premier banking member. And step number 7, folks, you want to apply. Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. So you've been listening to me for the last 15 minutes. Are you interested in getting a high limit or a massive personal loan from SunTrust Bank, even if you have poor or fair credit? I want you to talk to me. Tell me the truth. Are you interested? Okay. I presume that you are interested. I can't hear you. But if you're interested, it's better to do this at a branch. I know you can, if you go to SunTrust Bank, they say, oh, well, you can actually complete your application in about 10 minutes. But you can do so online. As I told you earlier, they have, you can go to Lightstream to apply for the loan. But if you are in an area where you have a brick and mortar SunTrust Bank branch, you want to go to the branch, talk to a loan officer or a credit representative and explain things to them, okay? If before going to the branch, or if you decide to apply it online, either way, you will need a few things. You will need personal and contact information. The banks wants to have that. Your address history, your employment and income info. This is very important. As I was telling you earlier, the minimum here is a $24,000 pre-tax income per year. Your employment history will be also analyzed. They might request a reference copy, let's just say a reference letter from your employer, or an employment letter, an employment verification letter from your manager, from your company. They might want to ask you some financial details, so a clear description of your assets and debts. This is usually done through a financial statement called a balance sheet, also called a statement of financial position, or a statement of financial condition. And in some cases, in case collateral will apply to your loan, they might ask you for collateral information. So after you sort of gather all that kind of information, you can actually you can submit the application. You can do it online, but again, we definitely encourage you to do it over the phone or at a branch. Our preference, and based on our success ratio, is to do this at the branch. Okay, so once you do this, SunTrust Bank will contact you to review the next steps and answer any questions you may have. Okay, and another thing is, if you like to apply with the co-applicants, you want to visit a branch, or you can call 1-800-SUNTRUST. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about how to get approved for a massive personal loan from SunTrust Bank with poor or fair credit. Step number one, you want to know the typology of loans that SunTrust has. Number two, you want to focus on the unsecured loan. Number three, you want to check out your FICO score. Number four, you want to determine eligibility. Number five, you want to boost your approval odds. Number six, you want to connect with SunTrust. And number seven, last but not the least, you want to apply. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.